We are about to open a bottle of wine.
Oh, now, and we have to toast in French.
And we have to toast in French, and we have to do the wine jingle.
We have a wine jingle?
We have a wine jingle.
Okay. Are you going to do it live or?
3, 2, 1.
Can you please? That's actually a very funny, nice jingle for that. That was nice, mate.
There are things we think we know about places, but history, prejudice, stereotypes, and the viral nature of 24-hour news and social media has made common knowledge about faraway places more twisted than ever.
Today, as always on MisInfoNation, we tried to clear up some of the outright lies, mistakes, myths, and misnomers of an entire country by doing what we do best, by having a chat with someone who actually knows what they're talking about. In this case, two people who kind of know what they're talking about.
So grab a baguette, find your fanciest horizontal stripes, hop on your oversized basketed bicycle, light a cigarette, and let's go for a ride through one of the most desired, loved, and influential countries in the world, La République de France.
France has forever been the epitome of fashion, cuisine, cinema, love, theater, philosophy, literature in the modern age. So this MisInfoNation is a hell of an ask. In order to navigate the rouge, blanc et bleu of this fascinating place, we have not one but two very special guests.
On one side, he's sly, he's funny, handsome, thoughtful, never short of a story. And for our money, he's the best, most knowledgeable barista in the fair city of Barcelona. He was our coffee maker. Now he's indispensable. It's our friend, Clément Juan Antonio Hernández. Super French, I know.
And on the other side, she's effervescent, hilarious, smart, beautiful, she's kind, she sings, she crafts. She makes documentary films, including an upcoming feature called Tiny Apple, all about New York City. She is a force of nature in both of our lives. That is Nina Thomas Gascon.
Okay. Googling French stereotypes will most certainly give you a list which includes rude people who don't bathe or shave, stories of scary backwaters, lists of endless wine, cheese, bread, pretentious literature, and haute cuisine, and some incomprehensible insults.
But let's not get right to it. We should note that both Nina and Clément are half French, half Spanish. Because, as you know by now, we here at MisInfoNation don't like to make anything too easy for ourselves. And that's not how the world works. So there's really only one actual first question.
Do you feel French?
Oh, that is putting the thumb on a great question here. I think it's a great question because generally speaking, if you go to France, if you're French and you speak to another French people being like, do you feel yourself like a French person? But it really feels like you can actually divide people between people that are actually like patriotic and they're like the patrie, the country, the government, and you have other people that actually think like being French is just a way to be, guys.
Zen. It's
Like
more zen.
Personally, like I don't consider myself particularly French.
Would you say 50%?
I would say less. I would say 42, 43,
All right,
something like
you
that.
got to make up 58.
Yeah, so you have to get to 50.
One French person.
What is funny is that, on New Year's Eve, I did the test.
Oh, yeah.
You did a French test?
I did the DNA test.
Oh, okay.
And I am actually 65% French.
Jeez.
So there you go. Like, I'll
Welcome to MisInfoNation of one French person. 1.1.
Where two people make one French person. What's your answer, though? Do you feel French?
it's weird because I think it's this feeling that fluctuates a lot.
Yeah.
But actually, my Spanish last name comes from a region in France, which is Gascon. Gascon.
Eres
for real?
Gascon? Nina Thomas Gascon?
Sí.
Oh.
Sí. Entonces,
And
here we are.
Who do we have here on the right?
And the full name would be like Clément Juan Antonio Hernández. So that's not French for one bit. It's actually a rip-off of being
Sound like a luchadora.
I know, it's very funny. But like we just did with you, Nina, Tomás, Gascon. Like, do it.
Nina, Thomas, Gascon.
With the Spanish.
Olé.
We're gonna put it a little
And do
bit
yours with a French
Spanish.
accent.
The French accent, that would be Clément Jean-Antoine Hernandez. Joder.
I do love
It's
the
very
way,
nice, actually.
like the way that our voices change
Of
when
course.
we switch from one language to the other. That's really
I
funny.
think it's always funny when you get you are a beast of foreign languages. I mean, your ears is incredible. I heard you speak in Catalan, Spanish,
Stop it.
English. And you also master French, which is not that easy, you know?
It is true. Nina has an incredible knack for languages. 4 of them, in fact. Flawlessly and fluently. Clément, too. He has an almost unplaceable accent after years abroad, but there's something about getting 2 French people together which always levels up the snoot. You know, whatever.
Or is there? Number 1 on the list of French stereotypes. They are unapologetically, plainly rude. All right, so French people, rude as fuck.
That was my first question. I was gonna go for snooty.
Snooty.
Yeah.
Where to start with this?
Thank you.
Like, I think the real question is, like, do you really think, like, French people are genuinely rude?
Well,
I have met very rude French people, but I can't say that the French people I know are rude.
Where are they from? That is the question.
I mean, but yeah, it's Paris, right?
Yeah, I mean, I would say.
what's the distinction?
The
Like,
snootiness that
Yeah.
you were talking about is
Right.
definitely, I mean, I think it's more a thing in Paris.
well, this is what we do here. We purposely invited 2 of the nicest French people that we know. I mean,
the least
We're pretty rude.
they carry very little.
depends
snoot.
on the snootless.
But both Nina and I were so not like that. Like, we,
Super nice.
yeah, like,
But you lived.
So kind.
But you lived in Paris.
I lived in Paris.
So did you have to learn how to snoot? Just gonna go with it as long as I
It's
can.
gonna be a class.
I'm gonna say I had a different image of Paris,
Okay.
and then I moved there. One day I was going to work. I was walking for like 10 minutes, and I saw 4 people just flipping the bird at each other, like just like, what is going on?
They weren't doing it to each other. It was in succession, one after the other.
Isolated incidents.
Isolated birds. Clément did a deep nod. He was like, "Yep,
Yeah.
yep."
French nod.
So even if the French recognize Parisians as slightly more pretentious than the rest of the country, then where do our kinda snootless friends hail from?
I'm initially from Toulouse, in the south of France. I was born and raised there. I left Toulouse when I was like 20 and never came back. And now we're half away from the Pyrenees. In the Midi.
In the Midi.
In the Midi.
In the Midi, mon
Do
gars.
you guys know what the Midi is?
It's the
Do they?
Or it's the synthesizer.
The midi. If you just add an A, it makes sense.
Après-midi?
Well, the Midi is like literally like the south, like the middle south of France.
The middle south.
Yeah, it's
The Midi.
and Midi is noon.
Oh.
Yeah.
Et tu, Nina Thomas?
Ooh, I bounce around quite a lot. So I was born in Dijon, which the mustard.
I was
Oh
gonna
my
say.
God. Yeah, actually, nobody knows that it's also a great city for gingerbread. Gingerbread.
Gingerbread?
Amazing gingerbread.
The Dijon gingerbread.
Yes.
Wait.
The pain d'épices de Dijon.
Pain d'épices.
Pain d'épices.
Okay.
Piss bread.
They
whole grain
they
mustard?
have a gingerbread mustard. They make a gingerbread mustard.
What?
It's very good.
Is it?
Yeah,
So you see,
actually.
that's what France is all about. Like, I'm living like fucking 500 kilometers away. I don't even fucking know that.
Yeah, of course.
So anyway, I was born there, but it was purely by chance, really, because my dad was.
Having sex there.
Nice, Neil.
I mean, yeah.
Thanks. Thanks for making it awkward. We're having a nice conversation about Dijon, gingerbread,
Mustard.
I was born there by chance. Was like the line.
It's a very nice town, actually. Like, it's a really beautiful city. Lots of music. Great for the music scene. And but really, my family is from the center west, Orléans, the old Orleans.
Right, Old Orleans.
Yeah. From a teeny tiny town called Gien.
That's a word. How do you spell it? How many letters are in that sound?
16.
4. 16.
It's spelled
Four
Jaiugaa.
The U is always silent. Yeah, no, it's very well known for porcelain.
Oh, okay.
So you're
We'll
Por-
have our little quirks.
porcelain mustard ginger kid.
Yeah.
So, a midday bad boy from Toulouse and a porcelain mustard gingerbread girl from Dijon. But let's put you guys firmly in the loop. Regions of France are markedly different from one to the next. So, sorry, let's dive in a little bit more.
Toulouse is known for so many different things, mate. Nothing as exotic and traditional as mustard, for instance.
Right.
But, we're dead famous for Airbus, mate, because Airbus is from Toulouse.
Oh, Airbus.
Yeah.
Airbus.
Airbus, dude.
I didn't know that. There you go.
Dude, sausages.
Whoa, come on, mate. Like, if
Toulouse sausage is famous. You go to your hometown, you pick the sausages up, and then you get the mustard. And
mate, the sausage from Toulouse is actually coming from Périgord, which is just next to it. And they do amazing sausages, that's right. But Toulouse is just dead famous for airplanes, rugby, perfume, painting, pastel.
That's a lot.
I think rugby is a big part of the culture we had.
Yeah.
Did you play rugby?
I used to, like my skinny silhouette shows it so well.
For those on the video feed.
those on the video feed.
I've played for like 4 or 5 years, and yeah, I definitely recommend anyone to play rugby at least once in his life.
I was
Honestly,
going to say, my friend, a good friend, Samu, who's from here, director of photography, he played rugby for a long time and he swears by it.
the values, mate, like so many good values, like regarding other sport, like football, for instance.
Rugby is a hooligan sport played by gentlemen, and football is
The
a
gentleman's sport played by hooligans.
It is. I wouldn't have said.
So elegant.
I wouldn't have said better,
beautiful.
to be honest. It's exactly what it is.
Well, that's who we're dealing with right here.
These messy people. So the nation of France is home to 68 million people, 18 administrative regions, and around 75 regional languages, which include Occitan, Breton, Basque, Corsican, and Alsatian, like the dog.
But collectively, where does one really feel like Frenching it up?
Is there a situation where you particularly feel French?
I gotta, every time that I am in Paris.
Yeah?
Yeah. It's like there's something like, my lizard brain kind of kicks in. And
But
it's
is
like
it landing or like getting a bread or...
Do you guys feel more French when you eat breadsticks?
No, it's something, I mean,
And you're just like eating bread and crying.
no, it's weird. Like when I maybe it's just a Parisian thing, but I stand taller. Like I walk very straight. I really class it up.
Did you live in Paris?
No. I'm lucky enough to never.
So you get the idea. And when you think about it as an outsider, it makes sense. London's not England, New York's not the USA, and Paris is not France.
But there are still these images we have in our head when it comes to this nation of a bustling brasserie, beautiful men and women sitting around smoking compulsively, drinking fancy wine, and talking philosophy before they go out to the discotheque.
Or is this just more fake news?
The French education system is very geared towards critical thinking and debate, which then, like, when you get to Paris, it gets like a little pompous. Everybody, like every time that you go have drinks with people in a cafe or in a bistro,
You gotta talk about Rambo.
it's like, oh my God, we have to debate what's happening at every single moment. Like, and it gets a little
But it's the funny thing.
wary.
Like when you just said, like when you were talking.
However, that's what I used to do with my grandparents. Like my grandparents used to do 4 kisses.
Okay.
But because my entire family moved to Paris, they only do 2.
Even in Spain, where we all live, the double kiss is a bit of a standard. Or the full hug, at least.
I get weirded out now about shaking hands. I'll do it.
I think wait,
It's really uncomfortable.
it's
I'm doing
sometimes
business with him.
Never again.
Neil and Andres just
We're shaking hands.
had
done that.
That was really weird.
the most manly handshake.
This is very strange.
I felt weird.
It did.
My dick just fell off. So, as is par for the course for the mentality of the French, we can't leave a subject until everything has been solved. So here we go.
You all know who's coming.
The French kiss.
I want to keep it on the kissing for a second.
Please.
Okay.
I think that it's very important to understand that when, like, the French kissing. French
all right.
kissing.
Now we're getting serious now.
Right.
Yeah,
Which in
it's-
France is just kissing.
It's called rolling shovels.
What? Rolling shovel?
Say it in
Se
French.
rouler des pelles.
They say it's a romantic language.
No, it's not. It's not about that. It's not about that, Neil. You're getting wrong. It's like you have a shovel.
It's Rambo's fault.
I have a shovel. Let's work together. That's all about that, mate.
We can dig this
No,
hole.
it's actually sorry, like because my husband like went into a rabbit hole of rolling shovels and like finding out, and it had like a completely different meaning. It's something crazy. I cannot remember it because it was like so just not what
Sexy.
you would expect.
Shovels, like a piece of wood and a piece of metal.
But yeah, but I want to just like keep it on rolling shovels because it's amazing.
I feel like
It's-
asking one question. Like, do you guys actually practice French kiss?
Yes.
Yeah. Is it something that you connect directly to the
practice?
fact of? Is it something that you actually connect with the act of sex, or is it something that you feel like throwing to any kind of opportunity that life gives you?
It
Like,
does indicate,
Intent.
sure.
but a bad French kiss turn you off, man.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
in
of
my
course.
case,
No.
like,
Of course.
An
Like,
entire
anybody.
plate of snails.
Oh God, I have stories, but it's bringing the PTSD on.
empty the bag, Nina.
I have stories, but it's bringing the PTSD
No, but it is
back.
true. Like, if you've been with someone for like 5 years, you come home every day, you kiss them hello, or you leave them every morning and you kiss them goodbye. If you just like, that's one thing. If you and a tiny bit more, you might be late for work.
That's exactly.
Or you might not cook dinner.
Well,
It's just, it's true.
Like-
It's the most polite invitation.
you start kissing, but obviously you're not going to start by a French kiss. You're going to start by smacking, by like kissing the extremity of the lips to just try to make her feel
And
like.
Daft Punk's playing for this whole thing, right?
Around the world,
around the world.
Around the mouth, around the mouth.
But my point is like,
Don't go in just
super
yet. Hold it just around
the moment-
the rim. Around the rim.
the moment you risk yourself to actually like do a
Yeah.
French kiss, you have a direct response from your partner, and sometimes it's like, ooh, no,
the
I'm not ready,
opponent?
and you're
It's all
like,
or nothing.
oh my god, all right, fair enough. And sometimes you have, I'm gonna stop talking.
When to become.
Well, this is a change of topic, isn't it?
How's this for a segue?
So, this week of July, the Olympic Games begin in Paris.
11,000 athletes.
20,000 journalists.
45,000 volunteers.
15 million visitors.
35 separate venues.
350,000 hours of broadcast time.
How do the French, and especially the Parisians, feel about this rousing, life-affirming, world-uniting festival of athleticism? All right, we got to do it. Olympics.
Oh, right. I forgot about it.
So first of all, we need to talk about the fact that you didn't know what the mascot of the Paris Olympics was.
Wait, hang on. I have a link. And I'm going to
Okay.
show Andres a picture.
Show.
I'm going to guess
Okay,
what I think it is.
We're gonna start. We're gonna start with the mascot. Okay.
Hit me. What the
What does that say to you?
You know when you go to a hotel and they make like a napkin into a shape like a bird?
A swan?
Yeah.
Come on.
Is it meant to be like a chicken? Is it Napoleon's hat?
Almost.
No,
Am
but
I
we're
close?
roughly there. You're very hot right now.
Yeah, boiling hot. So it is a hat. This is supposed to be the hat. It's a bonnet, really, that
Okay.
represents the Republic. It's called un bonnet phrygien. And it's really the first representation of the symbol of France, which is égalité, fraternité.
Of the Republic, yeah, absolutely. Like if you actually take a look at this very famous painting where you have like half naked Marianne
La Marianne.
carrying, she actually wearing one of those.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's just like the execution of the art has been very poor.
Yeah, because
Yeah,
they've made
yeah.
it into like
A Pixar
A
character.
clitoris.
It looks like a clit.
That looks like the horny
Full on.
character from Inside Out 2.
Yeah.
it is a very happy clit. The mascot is one thing, and to be brutally honest, they have always been so notoriously bad. But what is going on in the city, and how will the games play out over the coming weeks?
With your friends in Paris and your relationship with Paris, how is the Olympics gonna?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know about you, but in my case, they're very annoyed.
Most of my family has left the city.
Okay.
Mayhem.
Yeah.
If we're getting into it, they're like cleaning the city from all the people who don't have a house, and
Yeah.
like that's kind of
outrageous.
gross.
Read that today.
But again, like they did the same in Rio, where
They did it here.
Yeah,
They
yeah,
did
yeah.
in London.
I think there is
Exactly,
in
like
there.
1992 Barcelona. Oh my God, like like half of the city was cleared out.
This is ridiculous to the point that actually the mayor of Paris has been willingly nominated herself to have a swim into the Seine, which is like actually the river that crosses through Paris. Like she wanted to show the world how clean this fucking river was. So she was like, you know what? I'm going to swim in there just to show you how clean it is. And it's never going to happen, man. I'll tell you that for nothing.
I thought you were going to say we're still waiting for the results.
I'm sorry.
Like she's just disappeared.
No. We need to talk about this very important thing where like it
I was
wasn't
pretty close.
only her. It was Macron also who said that he was going to do it. And so then all of a sudden all of the Parisian people started an event of shitting in the Seine.
That's
Dirty,
what we
dirty
do.
protesters.
Cochon.
La Seine is a bit like La Carrière d'Alibaba. You know, you never know where you're going to fucking found in it.
So you guys are really excited about the Olympics
Oh,
and what it's
so
going to
much.
happen.
This is supposed to.
I just can't wait to see it happen, mate. Like,
apart from all of the politics and the bullshit and like murdering Algerian people in the river, like what synchronized diving. Just to be clear, to prove that the efforts made to clean up the city's capital river had been successful, the day after this interview, Parisian Mayor Anne Hidalgo did indeed swim in the Seine.
On the other hand, President Macron, who was invited and who had said he might swim in the river, was a notable absentee.
We always wrap this up on a very poignant note.
shall we talk about onion soup?
Bread, what's the deal?
Bread, for or against? Are the French
Yes.
the best at bread?
Absolutely.
So what is it about French bread?
There is a thing, like, I mean, I'm sorry, but like a good baguette, like, kills it.
I gotta say, like, there is one thing I miss a lot, like, and there is something that only happened in France, though. Like, it's when you go to your baker in France, the baker has the fucking courtesy to ask you if you like your baguette well done or not.
Yes.
And that is
Yes.
a real
Bien
thing,
cuite.
That's very
boys.
specific.
I didn't
And
know
girls.
Bien
that.
cuite
Well, I'm
ou
glad
pas?
we just got this. Wait,
Or
wait.
like
Say it again. Say it again.
And Neil, I'll tell you that it's a very sexy moment.
Yeah.
I feel like we're at the French kissing moment
You're,
again.
oh, no.
I like everything a little bit softer.
So
a
wait,
little
wait.
bit hot.
Say it again.
Bien cuite. Bien cuite ou pas?
Bien cuite ou pas?
I gotta take my headphones off. This is getting
Are you getting hot?
uncomfortable. Yeah,
Yeah, you have to uncross your legs.
I just can't help it. There's something hardwired into my brain that France is just sexy. Sorry.
Oh, you motherfucker. Jesus. Well, it might not be true across the board, of course, but my God, it's a good thing to try and hold on to.
But how do Nina and Clément walk around with the sexy sword of Damocles dangling over their heads?
Guys, each of you, how do you feel in the world wandering around as a French person? How do you carry that?
When you guys met me,
Yeah.
what did you think?
Hey, that's a very fucking good back question, actually.
I mean, fair enough.
Honestly, like in my experience, like being French has always been a thing that people were putting into my face when it was time to travel. But at the very same time, it was also my blessing to realize that it was nothing but not cliche, but like it feels like I think like everyone wants a little bit of French in his life.
But there is obviously like a massive stereotype. I mean,
There is.
I think
there
it might
is.
be different from men and women as well.
Yeah.
Ah, interesting.
So what's your experience traveling the world as a French woman?
Naughty.
She's grinning.
I think I got away with a lot of like sexiness. If you know what I mean.
Can you please define get away with?
No, I think that truly this fascination with France that like was a big factor in like people meeting me. Oh my God! I'm like, what? And what is it like there? And blah blah blah. And like, oh, like tell us more. And then here, I think like this in Barcelona, they're so over French people.
So perhaps distance makes the French seem alluring.
Who knows?
Wait.
I know I'm gonna make this longer for you to edit, but I do have a question to Clément.
Fantastic.
Have you ever been objectified for being French?
Ooh,
Yes,
nice.
I did, and I had a very
Para syndrome. It's sexual para syndrome.
No, but that's a very good question.
That's super
Yeah,
interesting.
when I was in New York, I dated a couple guys, and the guy like was very thrown off by my American accent,
Right.
and was like, it just like
I can't work this. I can't work this out.
like I feel like you should have a French accent, and it would be like sexier.
Oh, fuck that, mate.
And I was like, well, this is me, and I don't know what to do. But like, it did. I mean, I can fake it if you want, but like, it's kind of weird.
Do you want me to fake it?
No.
I can fake
Shook
it.
it.
I can fake it all day. It's not super sexy for me. But there was this thing of like, I think it was like one of like the first time that I was a little bit like objectified for being French.
Look at that.
That's
I need-
weird, man.
I need to turn this dial up a little bit. Seriously, is that what you thought? You were like,
Ooh la la.
yeah. So the baggage that you carry around the world when you travel is that you're both just sexually objectified.
It is so
machines
tremendously.
all the
It
time.
is.
It
You haven't-
is super interesting
I'm pretty
because
sure-
I haven't thought about it, but it is true that there is an image around the country very uniquely. Like nobody thinks of Bolivian that way. Hot.
and
Fucking, I
Nobody's
gotta
like,
go.
oh,
I'll tell you-
fucking hot.
Gonna
Bolivian.
get into this.
I'll objectify you all day, every day. Come on.
So, to take the focus off this hot Bolivian for a second, we will say that there is a strong connection between Nina and Clem. You can hear it in the way they talk.
Well, it's funny, like while we've been sitting here this whole time, there's been so many times where both of you have, without speaking, like
Yeah, had
we're
a
both having the same thought right
connected.
now.
A connexion?
I would like to add some things like I knew Nina for 10
year?
months, a year, something
A
like that.
year? It's gonna be a year
And
next
let's face it,
this week.
You were all fucking let's
Oh,
do it.
yay.
Let's celebrate. Like you were initially like a customer, but initially, like in any kind of trade conversation you're actually doing with people, just like the same way we're actually doing it right now. Like, and don't take it wrong, like in a kind of very goofy way. Like I found myself into it big time. Like
Yeah.
when you were arriving and you were doing this impression of the booth, you know, like and I was like, that is my girl. Like that is exactly what I'm thinking. And I was so glad to actually like meet someone like that, like for
Yeah.
real.
Yeah.
This goofy ass girl.
That's what we've been trying to do
There
every
we
week.
go,
We
we
try always
finally
do.
got
it. So you
We
see-
try to always end it like on a really nice note, and we can never do it. But you guys just did it together.
We started this podcast being us being rude, and you find out that we're just all about love. That's what we do.
Bunch of rude
Lovely.
people.
So there you go. You heard it here first.
So apart from being open, great at food, bread, kissing, democracy, liberty, gallantry, honesty, and force-feeding geese,
What do the French do better and worse than anyone else?
Americans they think they have like the monopoly on serial killers and
Okay.
cold cases, but France France brings it back,
So
baby.
are we saying France is good at serial killers or bad at serial killers?
Yes, amazing.
So
serial killers.
let me
Yes.
let me just get the question. Let me just get the question out clean. What does France do better than anybody else?
High five.
Butter and serial killers.
Oh my god. This is the end of this podcast. So there you go. The French aren't rude. In fact, quite the contrary. They're actually quite sentimental, heart on sleeve kind of folk. I love both you guys.
Yeah, this
very,
was amazing.
very, very much.
This was a joy.
It was
Thank
great.
you for having
It was great
us.
being here, guys.
I don't
joy.
know what I'm gonna do.
I
with
know.
this.
Congratulations.
Is there any more wine?
Can you guys sing us a little song? No, I'm serious. Just sing us a little song.
As we were talking about Jacques Brel a bit earlier, but
I know.
it's
I'm
not.
a Cabrel
Oh,
girl.
fuck that, mate.
Petite Marie, tu dis que la vie, c'est une bague à chaque doigt, au soleil de Floride. Moi, mes poches sont vides et mes yeux pleurent de froid. Je viens du ciel et les étoiles
Ne
entre
parlent que
elles
de
ne
toi.
parlent que de toi.
Et d'un musicien qui fait jouer ses
Qui
mains
fait jouer ses
sur un
mains
morceau de
sur
bois.
un morceau de bois. Que leur amour
Bleu que le ciel.
que le ciel autour.
You sing so fucking amazing, Nina. That is madness, man.
That's why she's a singer in our band.
That's right. Huge thanks to Nina and Clément for getting through almost 5 bottles of wine with us and never losing focus. It was truly a joy. Next time on MisInfoNation, we're heading home. Wait, what?
Well, I'm heading home, kinda, to the rolling hills of old England for a very, very special episode with our friends Andy and Ryan.
As always, thanks for listening, and remember, if you think it's a stupid question, it probably isn't.
This episode of MisInfoNation was written and produced by me, Neil Innes, and Andres Bartos. Huge thanks again to our brilliant friends Nina and Clément for teaching us everything about rolling shovels. You can follow Nina on Instagram at Nina Thomas Films, and you can visit her husband Arnaud's bakery, Forn La Panacée, for the best bread in Barcelona. Also go find Clément at Clément Barista on Instagram and his cafe at Moltama Cafe, equally for the best coffee in Barcelona. We'll pop them in the show notes for you. Our theme music for MisInfoNation is by River Deep Mountain Dew. The show is mixed and mastered by Julian Kwasniewski. Stacey Book, Dominic Ferrari, and Avi Glajanski are the greatest curling team the Olympics has never seen. They also executive produce the show, which is hosted by me, Neil Innes, and a man with an unhealthy penchant for cats named after dictators, the croissant in my back pocket, Andres Bartos. Too much?
No way.
See you in the next place. Oh my god. Open the door. Whew.